Now, before we get going on today's podcast, we have a message from our mates at GameDay Squad.
Do you love women's fantasy footy?
Women's Aussie Rules Fantasy is officially launched at GameDay Squad.
It's free to play, create, coach, and compete for weekly prizes.
Open your free player packs weekly.
It's fun, it's free, it's easy.
Register now at GameDaySquad.com.au.
DT's all right with me. DT's all right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Roy. Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the One
And
Dogs.
Kevin.
Coach of Cabernet.
And we're here with Bevo.
Who you got?
Coach of the Bulldogs.
For how long?
Yeah.
Get him out.
Get him out, all right.
We don't like Bevo much.
No.
As fantasy coaches.
I don't reckon his team.
His
do
team doesn't
either,
like him.
to be honest.
So,
Look, something has to change there. Like, we've talked about in the fantasy community what Bevo does for years. And now, as usual, mainstream media starting to pick up on it as well.
Yep.
It's a bloody walking disaster.
yep.
Yeah.
He was great that flag year.
Yep.
Well done. But it's time.
He's got the cattle, though, doesn't he?
He does.
This is the thing.
And he's playing the cattle out of form, week in, week out.
And there are that many of them though, that we can talk about. Let's start with their highest averaging player, Timothy English.
Oh, don't.
Roy.
This is the last time I'll have to go
Set
through
and forget.
this. Oh, I'm
Set
trying to
and
forget. I'm trying to forget.
Speaking of 119, and I think there were concerns about picking him at the start of the year because of body and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, being the higher price, I think he's the only player probably priced at over 100 at that 103-ish or
and
so.
there was concern that there was no ruck's going to average
average
over 100.
Yes. You got him on that one, dude. Got him.
Yes, but no, it was certainly a more for me. Taking on English all year, nothing but a painful experience because he was outstanding.
Enormous too. Some of those scores, and he sort of did. It was funny actually looking at his scores because his low scores were 90s.
Yeah,
but he'd go a 150 then a 90. Like that's what he did.
He did do that flip flop, didn't he? Yeah,
a fair bit through the season. So it's actually interesting to look at to see how often that happened. There was a big.
There was a massive streak of it.
His scores really matched up on scala hardness.
Yes.
Yeah, they were really, a green team for him meant a 140, 150 on the way.
Wow. Now, obviously, then, this is my bad one, Roy. You didn't have your English. I didn't have the Bont, despite being the cheerleader of that in the pre-season. And stupid me, we'll talk about the guy that I got instead of him a little bit later in this. But Bont, massive, got the MVP for the year as well, the fantasy MVP, the Dane Swan medal.
Yeah.
23 games, 117 average. So he took that from that, like, low 100 up to that, and
look, see, God, we were all so close to starting them both. That's the problem.
Is
We
there
all just took one.
Is there a world where Bont is better next year?
I don't think so.
Well, he went.
It's kind of been that Brownlow. It's kind of that build to this year, hasn't it? That's
I don't know.
It feels to me,
but he could
too.
be.
Oh, without a doubt. It's just he averaged 117, right? Yeah. They were 117 hard-earned points week in, week out. It's not someone that floats down to half-back and gets a little plus 12 at the end of a quarter, milking the clock. He's working his backside off to get those points.
From round 6 onwards, that's a lot of games. He went at 122.
Yeah, it's big because he had that 148 there around 6 because prior to that, you probably weren't actually
happy. I wasn't happy. I was disappointed, actually.
Yeah.
And some, and I didn't talk him out of it either, traded.
Yeah.
Because he was just so meh.
It's
and
99 in his first 5.
Yeah.
And then
it wasn't quite enough.
Tick, tick, tick.
Well, he ticked along nicely with all those 110s.
Yes.
Without a huge ceiling, but then against North he had a 158.
Yeah.
And then this was out of reach time. This is where it was, a 142, 128, 151, 140, 125. Like a massive back after the season. So
we've never really seen his ceiling. And this is a ceiling that is ridiculous now.
Yes, it is.
There's 140s, 150s.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Now, probably worth mentioning a couple of their other players. Adam Treloar, we don't like going there, and I think every single time we sort of talk people out of it because of at some point he's going to throw that mouth guard, which he did quite a few times.
He did, he threw it.
But he only missed a couple of games, so he missed 4 games pretty much throughout the season. But his numbers were great. He had some big games towards the end there, like a 143, 131 to finish off. So big matches. But Tom Liberatore was probably the real one that was...
he was good.
Was the winner. And his averages definitely brought down because of that 22. And he became a legitimate option in the back part of the season, probably the last third of it, where he went 118, 120, 109, 133, had that 22 and was concussed and finned as well. But he came back from that concussion with a 127.
Yeah,
so
it was extraordinary.
Epic season for him. But they're the big ones. 4 players over a ton, which was massive. But we've got to talk about this guy here. I think it's raw.
It is raw.
I don't think it's a real never again list one because we discussed that. But Jack McRae, that season,
what the hell,
was all over the shop and something that we just did not want to see.
Wasn't it last year? Every time the Bulldogs were on, the commentators were caught up in his streak of. It was some extraordinary streak of like 25 or 30 possessions games, and he just never fell under it.
Yeah.
And then this year, my God, this is our season summed up. We started with him.
Yeah, started with him. I traded round 2, I think it must have been, actually.
Well done.
What a rotten start that is.
Because he's gone 107 in that first one, but the roll was shit.
It was huge concern.
Then he had a 73 and the roll still looked shit. Had a 111 and people were going, I
remember that.
But then he's gone 89, 86, 99, 91, 90, 83. Not good enough because he was a midfielder at that point.
And he was expensive.
Did gain the forward status.
Yes.
All right, in his last 10 games, there are 3 games there where he did not attend a CBA.
Yep. Was it the ones where he scored 45 and 51?
Potentially.
That were in there?
He is the definition of being bevoed.
Yeah, he is. And not having the ability to score at all in the position he's been bevoed.
Yeah.
Like you can get put forward. That doesn't mean you score 40s.
He's the clear 3 that were used in there this year, Bont, Libba, Treloar.
Yeah.
Treloar attended 78% of CBAs.
Crazy.
Yep. 78%. He loves Bevo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone else hates him.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
The worst thing is, though, he's not really a never again list because he's potentially F1 next year.
Well,
he's in the mix of them.
He has to hold it.
Without a doubt.
So, yeah, he holds forward status. So, he's going to be there. So, and even when you think about that, we're getting him at a 92 for a dude that we think can and should be over 100.
Can he be? I don't know.
Well, it's going to take the role.
Well, I don't know.
Like, if Baslenka does go...
If Baz goes, but we said this about Dunkley.
Yeah,
if Dunkley goes, McRae's safe.
If Bevo goes,
Bevo goes, then we're on.
It's interesting. So the other one there, actually, this is a legitimate never again list. I'm never ever picking.
Don't say it.
That small potato.
You said that after last time he played it.
I cannot
Ballarat
believe.
or wherever it was.
Why do you enjoy picking him so much?
I don't.
You do.
Where was the game? Where was his real bad game?
Ballarat again, 39 he scored. After scoring 20 there a couple of years ago.
He averaged you 90, mate.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He must have averaged... Oh, God. What? No, I'm not even going to bother looking at that.
When did you pick him up?
Don't know.
He spent time in the role in 22.
Well, who doesn't?
These are the scores I got from
how
him.
dare you.
69, 89, 63, 83, 39, 109, 67. I reckon that's where I got him. I think I got him for that 67.
He was salt in your open wound.
So he went at 74,
season, wasn't he?
74 for the rest of the year for you.
Yeah, I would have paid easily 90-odd for him. Oh, easily, because he's averaged 90.
I know what Birdie, the bad trade beaver, would say.
Well, hang on. Is he, Roy, a guy to consider? 97 before his bye.
Yeah.
Right? 79.
Have you seen how small he is?
79 after his bye.
Have you ever gone to an open training run and looked at the little...
Yeah.
It's like a man-child, actually.
They don't even
off the
order
street.
appropriate clothing for him.
He would have been... They got him off.
Way too big.
He looked like a little brickie.
Yeah.
That they got.
He did, that's true.
A little labourer.
Yeah.
That's just the butt of their jokes. Go and stack that pile of bricks. Oh, no, move it over there now, Caleb.
Apologies to all the brickies out there.
Who can kick the brick the furthest? I was glued down, Caleb.
that stuff.
Anyway,
Yeah, right.
no, Caleb Daniel.
Cheap
Never
ne-
again. Even if he was cheap, I couldn't do it.
Cheap next year.
Bloody hell, he got himself
surprised.
cheap. So we got down to 667K.
Oh, did he really?
Like,
That's
that's
extraordinary. Yeah, it's a bad finish.
the other one, I don't know if he's in this category, but Basalenka Smith, he would have
Okay.
screwed over a lot of people in draft. 83 average for him this
Crazy.
year from his 19 games. So that's a real fall off the cliff.
he was
from
coming
2
off-
years ago when he was having that massive.
So he was coming
start
off the
to
105.
Surely,
106.
surely he just gets unleashed in the midfield, and you say,
Surely.
"Baz, go and find the pill." Like he's got the tools to do that. I don't know why there's a handbrake
Because of
on him.
Bevo.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, so I don't even think this button really does anything for these guys because
No.
I don't know if there's breakouts as such. It's just seeing these guys either coming back because they're not getting bevoed or whoever is nice to bevo in the off season to get some work done. Don't know. The ones that are probably worth looking at, and this is one player that pops up of the discounted as such, is we'll get 30% off Jordan Sweet. So he'll be pretty cheap. He could be an R3 option.
He could be.
If he ends up somewhere else.
That's the thing.
There's
That would be the
a little
best.
bit of a whisper of a couple of different clubs
Have heard that.
he could be the number one ruck at.
Yes.
So that would make that an absolute lock.
Yeah.
Could even be a starting
Might even
player.
start him. Yeah.
But yeah,
I like
Toby
mucking around in the
McLean's
ruck
another one that's worth thinking about.
It is because he played 6 games this year at an average of 29.
No,
The year before that, 1 game with a 0.
we can't. We should have actually put him on the never again list.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
What happens if it just opens up for him?
No, I think he's just forgotten how to play as well. I just don't think that was extraordinary this year watching him.
In the last round, here's one. In the last round of the VFL, though, Roy.
Extraordinary.
Last round of the
I'll
VFL,
give you
he scored a 145.
All right, put him back on.
Well, he's just on the watch list.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And for the year, Roy, he averaged 113 from 11 games.
Did he?
Yep.
Well,
He's knocking.
Well, if Bevo's gone, then
Well, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Anything could happen, Warndog.
That'll be a watch. That is the Bulldogs. Don't throw out your cards if you pick any Game Day Squad cards because for 1 week they could be great.
They
Yes.
They could be epic.
Yep.
yeah,
Unless it's the small potato.
I'd give him another go, dog.
yeah. He's
I reckon
right.
you start
If I
with him
pick
next
him,
year.
I'm going to put him straight on the transfer market at gamedaysquad.com.au
Yep.
and I'm going to let you buy him off.
Just no, get his stocks high and then sell just before the Ballarat game next year.
Yep.
That's a smart play.
Yeah.
You might trick someone for that.
Definitely.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
There it is.
That was the Bulldogs. We'll see you for the next one next time.
Attention footy fans. Have you ever played fantasy football? Fantasy footy is taking the world by storm, and here's your chance to play for free. Create, coach, compete in fantasy footy for free with GameDay Squad. Open free new player packs each week. Sign up to coach, build your team, trade players, bench injured or unfit players, upgrade rookies. It's your fantasy team. Play your best team. Become the ultimate fantasy footy coach. It's fun, it's free, it's easy. Register now for free at gamedaysquad.com.au.